succeed in that aspect, I guarantee you the job is yours. That's what we refer to as the act of emotional entry. In fact, I will encourage you to go and look out for things. The challenge here is that some of the things that serves as an emotional entry in different fields of life might not be applicable in job interviews. You might have had the gift of a man make it way for him. Maybe you want to, and you buy gift for someone. That's an act of emotional entry, but it won't come into interview. It doesn't come into the interview. In fact, when you buy a gift to a HR, you are already shooting yourself in the leg. That's a negative entry as regards to job interview, as regards to recruitment as recruitment is concerned. It is a negative entry. You don't go and buy gift to the HR to say, as I want to use this to appreciate you. No. But in another field, in another area, that can be an act of emotional entry. You can buy gift to your mentor, you can buy gift to your dad, and it's an act of emotional entry, and the person will appreciate you. But in this state, you don't use that. You use a complementary aspect. You use an active listening, maintaining eye contact when the questions are being asked. Some of us, when we are asked questions, our eyes might be looking away. No. In the process of that interview, in the whole interview process, ensure that you maintain rapt attention, rapt eye contact with the interviewers. Those are acts of emotional entry. We move to the next one, to cultivate the impression of being the shining light amongst all. If you are with me when we started, in the main slide of this section, you will see in the background there are many light bulbs, but one shining light bulb that distinguish itself amongst other shining light bulbs. That is what you need to do. Cultivate the impression of being the shining light amongst all. And one of the strategies I will share with you this evening might seem absurd. Might seem, I have shared it with people, as some come to me and say, wouldn't I be found as someone being desperate? Wouldn't I be looked at as someone being desperate? I told them, no. You are saying stuff because you know you are confident to perform. I remember some of us here might have seen me talk before. I remember I told persons that if you attend my training, if you attend my lectures, my training 2-3 times, and you are not satisfied, minute me that I will give you back your money. That if you like, you put me on record. What is that saying? That is saying the confidence I have in myself to deliver effectively. So one of the ways you cultivate the impression of being the shining light amongst all is to use this strategy I want to say now. And what is that? Where you can start with it. For example, if they ask you, why should we give you this job? Why do you consider yourself the best candidate for this job? Or they ask you, introduce yourself to us. Or any question, what can you do for this company? Different questions, different general questions as they come. Now, once you are done, you let them know, well, I have a strong ability, I have a strong belief in myself that I am the best candidate for this job based on that I have these skills and I have been able to work with these skills to do this, to execute this project, to do this and to do that. Over the time, I have gotten 70-80% result success in executing this, in using this software, in using this my skill. In my previous work experience, I was this and that. If you finish explaining why you are the best candidate, the skills you have, This is for people that have skills. These are for people that have achievement. These are people that have records. If you don't really have record skills and that, I don't know why you would go for an interview. But if you are in an interview, you have skills and you demonstrate your skills, that's why I let persons know, do projects, whether it's whether it's with company or personal project, do project, put your skill to test. Take that skill, do project, whether it's free project, whether it's a paid project, do project and have a point of reference, especially for fresh graduates. Go in, volunteer. You're a developer, you're a web developer. You can go and volunteer to company to do their front end, their website for them for free. If they need you to manage it, then you can charge them. What are you doing? You are building portfolio. You are building a point of reference that, yes, I've been able to work with this company. I've built a company website using my skills and that. And I want to assure you, sir, if you are looking for one, this is now where that statement comes in. If you are looking for one who will be effective, who will be productive, who will be efficient from day one, I'm the one. I'm the one. That you will not stop there. If you are looking for one who will be productive, who will be effective, who will be efficient from day one, I'm the one. If you doubt me, sir, I'm willing to work for you for 1 month. If I don't perform, sack me without pay. What is that? What, you might be the only person that gives such offer. You are giving the company an offer. If you understand what I mean by offer, those of us that understand copywriting and stuff like that, you are giving the company an offer, a free offer, that yes, if you doubt me, I'm willing to work for you for 1 month. If I don't perform, if you didn't see productivity, sack me. You are giving them an offer, and you might be the only person that gave such offer. And what does that mean? You are the one, you are the shining light amongst all. You are the shining light amongst all. You are the shining light amongst all. That's what what you are doing. You will not work for that 1 month and not be paid. And if you perform, the company, you are willing to work for you for 1 month. If I don't perform, sack me. You might be the only person that gave such offer. I want to tell you this evening, give offer. I'm teaching something very deep this evening. Those of us fresh graduates, whether professionals who have been working, and you know that job is something you love to do, is something you want to do, and is something that you want to go into, give offer. You might be the only person to say that. And what impression are you sending? You are sending an impression that you know you're earning. You are one who knows you are enthusiastic about the job. You want to show the company what you can do. You might be the only one that gave that offer. So this is one of the ways you cultivate the impression of being the shining light amongst all. Please note this. You don't say this, I'm willing to work for you for 1 month. If you don't perform, sack me, and you don't have skill, you don't have track record. That is where I need to establish this point now. That's where you will be seen as someone sounding desperate. But when you have your track record, you have skills, you have qualifications, you have your certifications, you have skills, you have experiences, a reference point, you have proof of your achievements, and you just want to go the extra mile. You get this offer. Among the persons in the interview, you most likely be the person to do that. That's one of the strategies of seen as the one amongst, as the shining lights amongst all. Another strategy is those of us that have projects. That's why I encourage us to build our portfolios. Build your portfolios, different projects you have done, put it together, upload it on your GitHub, have a GitHub account, upload your projects on your portfolios online, and then refer them. Now, if you doubt my achievement, I have my works that you can look at online. That's the link. This is the link to some of the projects I have done. You might be one of the few persons that come along with their projects in their portfolio. I'm giving you this as a guarantee. Most persons don't have a point of reference, especially fresh graduates. When we see fresh graduates that have gone the extra mile to have projects they have done and were able to showcase their portfolios, those persons get the job. Once that emotional entry is done, you cultivate the impression of being the shining light. The first is to master the act of emotional entry. The second is to cultivate the impression of being the shining light amongst all. Someone is asking where is the link. Okay. All right. To wrap up this session this night, this evening, I don't intend this session to be long. I don't intend it to be long. To wrap it up is this fourth aspect of interview communication. There are still other aspects, but time might not permit us, because I don't want to have a 2-hour section. Maybe next week I might plan for 2-hour section. I might prepare for or plan for 2-hour section, but this evening I will not want to go far in that. This next on the interview communication is to treat the interview session as a selling process. How do you communicate when you are selling to persons? How do you communicate? One of the things you do is to confidently let the person know that your product is the best. The product has quality. You begin to talk about the features of the product. You begin to talk about the features of the features of the services. If you are rendering services, what are the features? What are the things the services are that are included in the services? If you are giving out a product, what are the features of the product? What are the things that will make the customer to buy? Now, in dealing with that, let me go deeper into this. In dealing with this, you might be selling a product. What attracts one customer to that product might be different to what attracts another customer to that same product. Now, see yourself as a product. What attracts a company to you might be different from what attracts another person to you. So it is your duty as a product and as a sales professional to discover what we call the pain point. The pain point of the company or the interviewer. What's the pain point? In other words, what are the things what are the major needs? What are the critical needs of the interviewer, of the employer, as regards to his company, as regards to the position he or she is applying for? In fact, let me tell us this. Before I proceed to this, let me state this. Any skill you have is important and must be included on your CV. In fact, any skill is important. Every skill you have and that you can defend must be included in your CV, must reflect on your CV. I have I have been saying this every now and then. Every skill you have is important and must reflect on your CV. You might have had persons say, put relevant skills, the skills that are relevant to the job. That is correct. But I want to take it further. I'm taking it further for you this evening. Put both the relevant ones and the ones you think that is not relevant. Now let me share one experience with you. In a job interview section I was, the person came for an interview as a marketer for a company. The person came for an interview as a marketer. But inside his CV, the person put inside his CV that he's also a phone and system engineer. He can repair phone, he can repair laptops and stuff like that. And do you know, to cut the everything short, do you know that that person now got employed not as a marketer, but as a head of department that the company started as called their customer service center. The company is a tech company, but they are looking at the way to start a customer service center. Having seen this person who have this skill as a phone repair skills, and ask the person, how good are you? Can you repair this? Ask some technical questions as regards to phones and laptop, and see that the person is good. And also seeing the person has a marketing skill. The person did not get job as a marketer now. He now get job as a head of customer service center. What that means is that when they call meeting for head of department, the person goes for the meeting, will be part of the meeting. So he didn't get job as a marketer now. He got a job as a head of the company customer service center. And of course, you know the salary will not be the same as a marketer again. So I say this, any skill you have and you can defend, you have to include it on your CV. That having said that, in job interview section, when you discover your interviewer's pain point, what is the main need, the critical need of the interviewer, that is when you can conveniently communicate effectively to him, and he will listen. He will understand you. He will be attentive to you. For example, if you are hungry and someone is telling you there is so this that you can get to, now you begin to make money. That might not make sense for you at that moment. But if the person brings food at the moment and gives to you, what can give you food at that moment, you pay attention. So in interview, treat it as a selling process. One of the things you do in the selling process is to understand that you are a product at the same time a professional salesperson. And what that means in being a product and a professional salesperson is this: when a question is being asked, for example, an interviewer asks you, what are you bringing to the table? Or what are new things you think you can, what is new ideas, what is new initiative, what is new, what's new idea, what new initiative, what idea are you bringing to the table that is new? What is that you feel you can do better when we bring you in? That is an open-ended question. That's a vague question. When you are asked this question, it seems vague. It seems this. You might just begin to answer certain things that is not really what the interviewer needs. So when this question is asked, as a salesperson, for example, when somebody asks you, what do you think this product can do? You might ask the person, what do you need this product for? So that I can know if this product can do it, or the way you can use it better. The person will tell you, okay, I need this product for this, I need it for that. That's beautiful. Then this product is the best product that can get you that. This will get you that and also give you something, this and that and that. And once you go in that direction, you are getting the person's attention. So in this interview, try to ask the interviewer a question and, well, sir, if can you really indicate in what aspect or in what area are you referring to that? In what area of marketing is it in the area of softwares, or is it in the area of business? Let's ask the interviewer the question, what area he or she is focusing on. When he says, okay, what new idea are you bringing in the area of our marketing, for example, then you know that when you are answering that question now, you are tailoring your answer to the area of marketing. You are no longer you are not majorly talking about that. When you are done talking about that, then you can now say, okay, that also I can also do stuff in this area. I can also do stuff in the other area. But as regards to the area of marketing, I feel these and these are the new stuff I'm bringing in. Now you have been able to tailor your answer to the interviewer's need, to the interviewer's pain point. When he tells you the area of marketing, you know that the interviewer is more interested in marketing. The interviewer is interested in documentation. If he tells you in the area, well, what new stuff are you bringing in? You ask him, in what area so that I can tailor my answer to read. You have the right to ask questions. You can say, in this area, in what area, and the person now tell you, okay, in the area of our marketing, in the area of our sales, in the area of our production, manufacturing, then you can tailor your answer. This is one of the key ways of treating every interview section as a selling process. Understanding that you are a sales professional, understanding that you are a sales professional, and understanding that you are a product. If you look out for your unique abilities and you sell it to the company in such a way that it suits the company. That is why asking question is relevant. Some persons might have not told you this. You might have not had this. You are not just there to answer question. You can also ask question during the interview process. Not only towards the end of the interview and then. No, not only that part, not only that. During the interview process, you can ask question. You can ask question. And that is where we will wrap up today's section on interview series. This aspect, how to communicate effectively in interview, because it's one of the critical parts of 21st century job interview success. So I'm stopping here today. Next week, Thursday, is another time, 4 p.m. We are having this weekly section on interview series to help job seekers, fresh graduates, even professionals to ace their job interviews. And that is one thing we are committed to do. If you are one of the person that know me, you know that once I'm committed to doing some of these things, I do it to the end. And it's something we are committed to do. And same time next week, Thursday, we are going to be going into the final sessions, and we still have interview tests to deal with. We still have job interview questions to deal with. We still have formats of interviews, different interview, phone interview, virtual interview like Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, those interviews, walk-in interview, lunch interview, different formats of interview and different things to expect. We are going to be going through all those stuff to prepare us adequately for any aspect of interview. We will be notified, because most times I might not have time, especially if I go out on Thursday. I might not have time to share the link on several groups. I might not have time to share the links on several groups. So if you are here to subscribe, hit the notification bell. So as once we go live on this aspect, you will be notified. And also from time to time, we conduct a free live training session on this channel on tech skills like the analysis, Excel, web designs. We are working towards bringing a professional to this platform to teach us basics of web design or web design. I will encourage you to be part of this community on YouTube, to subscribe. And you say, if you have any question, drop it in the chat box now. Drop it in the chat box. I will attend to it.
Welcome to interview communication series. Actively communicate in job interview so as to end that job interview, so as to win or to secure that job. Kindly let me know if you can see my screen, if you can hear me. Please, if you can see my screen. We are live now. Series. Like I said, we are going to be having these sections every week Thursdays. So let me know if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. And if you are just joining us, welcome to interview communication series. This series is focused at preparing job seekers to effectively scale through job interviews. Today we will be concluding on the aspect of interview communication, and then we will move straight to interview tests. What are the series of tests? What are the series of tests? What are the tests to which you are going to pass through in job interviews? What are diverse tests that you might, or question and answers as we proceed? So I want us to drop in the chat box. Please let me know if you can hear me, so as us to proceed. The next we have in the interview communication, if you missed the last week's series, kindly, last week we dealt with what you are seeing on your screen: research about the company, research about the job, master the act of emotional entry, cultivate the impression of being the shining light amongst all, where I tell us so that as a job seeker you learn to create an offer. You learn to create an offer to the employers, to the recruiters. You go there with an offer. And I gave us one of the core offers that you can give during job interviews that will make you to stand out, that will make you to stand out as a shining light. So if you missed the last section, I would encourage you to look it up in the channel. You will see it, interview communication, how to communicate effectively in job interviews. Then finally, last week we talked about treat interview sections as a selling process. You are a salesperson, you are a product, at the same time a salesperson. Treat job interview as if you are selling to a customer. You are selling to the audience. What will you want your audience to know? Will you want your audience to know the negative part of you? Do you want the audience to know your weakness? Will you want the audience to know the negative aspect, or will you promote that positive aspect that will attract customers? Or will you promote that positive aspect of your products that will attract sales? That is what we are talking about. Treat every interview section as a selling process. All right. Then we are going to move to the next stuff today, because we need to kickstart and get it up and running. That is, be confident and authentic. What does it mean to be confident? What does it mean to be authentic? Be confident, be authentic. In other words, I have said this in on the audience I communicate with, based on the audience I teach, I always say this: confidence sells better than competence. Confidence sells better than competence. Confidence sells better than competence. In the business of better sells, in other words, in the business of better sells, in other words, it emphasizes your competence. If you lack confidence, is an indication that you are not competent. You might be, but the message you are sending to that recruiter, to that interviewer, to that employer is that you lack competence. So your competence is embedded in your confidence. So you can, when you act as one who is not confident, you might be the most qualified, you might be the best candidate, but when that confidence is not exhibited, when that confidence is not assumed, then you will be perceived as not being competent. So in job interviews, it is expected that you be confident and at the same time be authentic. And when I said be you, I'm not saying you be you in a negative light. This is me. If they don't want me, then they should just leave it. This me, I can't fake it. No. Everybody has his own backside. When we say be authentic, be real, be authentic in your positive aspect. Be authentic in your positive part. Don't go there and say, that's me. It's better they start knowing me from now instead of not knowing me. Be authentic. What that means is that if you are speaking the way I'm speaking, speak that way. Don't go and form what you are not. I remember being part of an interview section in Oshobo in Osun State. And one lady walks in trying to form English that she couldn't sustain, trying to form all this Queen's English and stuff like that. And we discovered that she's just trying to fake it. She's just trying to feign it. So be confident at the same time, be authentic. Let your speech, let your body expression, let your charisma be that which you are really are. Don't go there and begin to show or begin to be who you are not. And I need to state this: there is a thin line between being confident and being arrogant. There is a thin line between you showing authenticity and then being timid or being overzealous. Learn to master these things. Be confident by the tone of your voice. How do you assume confidence to an interviewer? How do you assume confidence to a recruiter, to the employer? One is to always maintain eye contact. This is one area fresh in job seekers tends to make mistakes. This is one area they tends to fail. They tends to make mistake. They tends not to maintain eye contact. They tend to just look small and then look away, look small and look down, or maintain eye contact. When I say eye contact, maintain eye contact, not staring at the person, just an eye contact that shows rapid attention, communication, and participation. There is attention you give to someone, the person will know, yes, you are truly in this conversation. That is what we are talking about here. Maintain eye contact. This is one way you show confidence and you show that you're authentic. Start now to build it. Don't say, when I go for an interview, I will remember to maintain eye contact. It is nature. It is natural that sometimes if you are not one who practice attentive listening, then you might not really be effective in this regard. So one way to show interviewer your level of confidence, your level of being authentic, one is to maintain eye contact. Don't look above the interviewer's head and don't look below the interviewer's head. Maintain eye contact. Number 2, ways in which you communicate confidence. Number 2, ways in which you send the impression of one who is authentic and confident is to extend firm handshake. When I say extend firm handshake, I'm not saying when you walk into the interview room, you will be the one to first extend the handshake. No. When they give you a handshake of fellowship, a handshake of welcoming, you then give out a firm handshake. Don't give a loose handshake, or don't give if it's what I can call a feminine handshake. Some ladies will just give you a kind of feminine handshake. No, it is professional meeting, is an official meeting, is a corporate engagement. You give a firm handshake with a smile. The smile assumes clarity, smiles assume one who is approachable, one who can be with, and one who one can easily buy into. And last, the act of emotional entry, I mentioned about smiling. You cannot overemphasize the power of smile, the power of smile, and then radiating positivity. So number 1 is to maintain eye contact. Number 2 is to give a firm handshake. Then number 3 in communicating confident and authentic is in the way you sit, the posture of your sitting. The posture of your sitting is also very, very important. So when you go for an interview, you don't just sit being too relaxed. At the same time, you don't just sit as one who is fidgeting, as one who is tensed. You sit upright. And then rest your hands on your lap or on the table. Don't lean on the table. Don't rest on the table before you. You can place your hand on the table, but don't rest on it or don't lean on it. When you do that, you are communicating to the interviewer that you are one that has low energy. And remember, energy is the ability to do work. It takes energy to work. And interviewers, employers, recruiters don't want one with low energy. And when you sit resting on the table, using your hand to lean on the table, you are sending a message that you are one with low energy. So when you sit, these are certain postures, these are certain communication, non-verbal communication that we send to the interviewers in a negative way. When we sit, when we rest, when we try to use our hand to hold our jaw, trying to say as if you are trying to buy confidence and stuff like that, you are sending a message. Remember last week I was talking about the aspect of communication. I mentioned the aspect of non-verbal communication. And this is where most applicants, this is where they shoot themselves on the leg. And at the end of the day, they said, I spoke the right words. I have learned how to answer. Tell me, I have learned how to answer this. I did everything. I said the right words. I answered it the way it ought to be. But I don't know why they did not call me. I don't know why I wasn't selected. It is mostly due to your non-verbal communication. What you are saying is not as important, is not more important than the way you are saying it. Both of them goes hand in hand. In as much as what you are saying is very, very important, the way you are saying it, the confidence behind the tone of your voice, the confidence behind your facial expression, the confidence behind the movement of your hands, your body charisma is what is communicating to the effectiveness of what you are saying. You can be saying the right words, your body is communicating the opposite. That he is just saying these things, but we can't trust that he is good at it, because the way he or she is presenting it. So one of the things you must be able to master, to bear in mind, and to be authentic. And in doing so, maintaining eye contact, giving them a firm handshake, and then your tone of your voice, your body expression, and the posture of your seat. The next interview communication you must understand is this. This is a communication, but some persons don't understand. And I will say some, most persons don't understand this aspect of communication. Communication, remember, we said that communication can be written, communication can be oral, communication can be verbal, communication can be visual. And in most cases, we read your non-verbal communication more than your verbal communication. We want to know whether what you are acting is in synergy with what you are saying. Whether your action is in synergy with your words. So one might ask me, how does bringing copies of one's document to interview a communication? How can we group it under interview communication? And I want to let you know now. How can we group it under communication? That's what one might ask. And how we group this is the under non-verbal communication. Now, when interviewers see that among the persons that are called for interview was sent out to interviewees, the company did not ask them to bring copies of their document. The company did not ask them. But you, coming for that interview, decide to bring copies of your credentials, documents. You are one that is sending message. You are communicating to us that you are one that is proactive. You are one that is proactive. In other words, you can think ahead. You are one that can take a proactive measure. Peradventure, these things happen, I can be able to take care of it. You think ahead. You are one that can fall in the category of what the Bible calls the 5 wise virgins, whom went ahead to think ahead and took extra oil. What you just did is, peradventure, you are being asked. Then if you are not asked, you didn't have anything to lose. It's a highly calculated risk. You are on the right side of the divide. So when your documents to interview, that you are one that ensures, very important. Then the next one is to maintain good and positive pause and answer. Maintain good and positive body language. Don't sit like someone who is tired. Don't sit slouching into the chair. At the same time, don't walk into the interview with low energy. Walk in majestically. Let there be a positive vibes, radiate positive energy. And once this is done, these are key tips as regards to interview communication, because most of us are more interested in what we say. Neglecting the vital aspect of the communication goes a long way in making sure that the candidate, the applicant, acts effectively. Remember, we started this series by saying it's not the most, it's not the most, is not the best candidate, but the best performer. So in performing, in acting, you agree with me, it's not just what you are saying, but the way you say it. It's not just what you say that makes person, it's not what that actor says that makes you to cry per se, but the way he says it, the act of this fact. We are going to be moving to the next aspect of this interview communication series, which we call interview tests. Interview tests. What are the tests? What are the series of tests that a job seeker will pass through? There are different tests, especially in this digital age, in this dynamic age, in this in this fast-moving age, there are different tests to which you are going to be subjected to. There are different tests to which you are going to be subjected to in this digital age, in this dynamic age, in this fast-paced age. You are going to be subjected to different kinds of tests. Now, having established that, we are going to move immediately to what we have: interview tests. Now, let's get the first test. We call it stress interview. If you have been under my lectures for past years, you will notice that I always talk about this called stress test, stress interview rather. We have stress test. You will agree with me that I have why we use this stress interview, especially for candidates that are going to come in contact with stress, pressure, customers pressuring them, this person calling for his attention, this person asking for his attention, and what have you. How will such a person deal with it? How will such a person handle such stress? And that is one of the tests you are going to go through. You might be put through in job interview. Stress interview. Now, what is stress interview? What is stress interview? We said that stress interview is this. In a job interview, you are seated and someone asks you a question. Someone asks you a question. While you are about to answer that question, another person in the panel throws another question to you. For example, you are asked, why do you consider yourself to be the best candidate for this job? As you are about to answer why you consider yourself to be the best candidate for this job, another person throws another question for you. What are you bringing into this company? And you try to answer that person. Another person throws another question. How do you intend to succeed? What do you think that will make you to be successful? Now, these questions, when you want to answer this question, you and I know that there is no how you can effectively deal with each questions within this rate, within the speed at which they come, within the speed at which the interviewer asks the questions. You are asked, as you are about to answer, another person throws another question. You are about to answer, another person then to be. You are definitely going to flop. And why is that? Why is it like that? The simple stuff here is that we are not interested in your answer. We are not in any way interested in your answer. Your answer, we are not interested in it. Now, why do we ask you this question? Why do we put you in such a fix? Why do we put you in such a situation? The reason is this: to see how you will handle that stress, to see how you will handle that challenge. Peradventure, let's say you are being interviewed as a front desk personnel or a teller person in the bank and what have you, and you are being put through stress interview. The only thing we want to know how you will deal with it. For example, if you find yourself in this situation and you are about to answer, another person throws a question. You are about to answer, another person throws another question. Now, with a smile, when the first person asks you the first question and you are about to answer, the next person throws the second question. Just pause. Few seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Pause. And then with a smile, now make this statement. Make this statement. Come from the point of inquiry. Inquire. Ask. Don't make an emphatic statement. Come from the point of asking. He that asks receiveth. He that inquires gets instructions, get directions. So come from the point of inquiry. He said, I see the way these questions are coming from the way very fast speed at me. I will love to ask if that will be granted to me, that these questions comes one after the other, so that I can effectively and efficiently do justice to them. This job, this position is something I'm so much passionate about. It's something that I have great respect and great passion for. So I will love to ask that these questions come one after the other, so that I can effectively and efficiently answer the questions as they come. That is how to deal with this kind of interview, which we call stress interview. With it, don't go about trying to satisfy each interviewer that asks the question. Let me tell you, you will end up not satisfying any, because you cannot at that pace answer any meaningful stuff. So when you are faced with this kind of situation, note that it's a stress interview. And in such situation, we are not interested in your answer. We are much more interested in how you deal with the situation. And how you deal with the situation is to ask. Please, the way these questions are coming so fast at me, please, I will humbly ask that this question be asked one after the other, so that I can effectively, efficiently answer each question as they come. That's how you deal with that. We call it stress interview. That's how you deal with it. Then, having talked about this, the next interview test we will look at is emotional test. Emotional test. Especially this test mostly is for most times those that comes in contact with people every now and then. Customer service center, personal assistants, secretaries, sales reps, marketers, different personnel, provided you are coming in contact with people mostly. These are mostly tests that are going to be issued. Not that other departments might not go through it, but in most cases, those positions are tested, are being put through emotional tests. What do we mean by emotional test? What does that imply? How do you go through emotional tests? Some of us that have gone for interview, how does it relate with the job? What does it have to do with the job? For example, you are in an interview, let's say for a lady, and the interviewer asks you from nowhere, they are asking you technical questions. That's how we mostly do this. We might be asking you technical questions that relates with the job, that we call technical questions, that relates with the job role, the job characteristics, the job requirement. And now comes and asks you, how many abortions have you had? Imagine that. How many abortions have you had? Or why are we putting you through such stuff? When you are asked that question, how many abortions have you had? It will come like you as a shock. It's an emotional test. Don't show that you are angry. Don't show that you can easily be angered. You can easily be irritated. Remember, that's a question. And also, remember that is also an emotional test. We want to know how emotionally mature are you? How emotionally stable are you? So in that regard, how many abortions have you had? The way you deal with it will go a long way in decision making. Gives it to the customers anyhow. Whenever you give them your mind, once they trample, once they go beyond that, but you just give them their mind without minding the reputation of the organization. Are you the one that are easily angered and then you flare up? Even if you might not shout at the interviewers your facial expression, your anger expression will definitely reflect. If you are one who is easily irritated, who is easily angered, it will show. So when we ask you such question, how many abortions have you had? Or are you married? You said no. Why are you not married? You said this. Is it that how many relationships have you been into? You will be like, how does this have to do with my job? How many relationships have you been into? You said you have been into 3 relationships, 4 relationships, 5, and none of them lead to marriage. And you say, is it that is due to your bad character, or that the men are irresponsible? And we begin to probe in. The way you respond to your past relationship will let us know. So one of the things you must understand is that emotional test is there to test your emotional stability. Research have shown that you perform best when you are at your best emotionally. So we want to know whether you are one that can easily emotionally switch from a positive and vibrant emotion into a negative and rejecting emotion. So when we talk about emotional test is a vital test every experienced interviewer puts interviewee through subconsciously. The person might be smiling. Well, you look, especially to ladies for front desk and stuff, you look so beautiful. How many relationships are you into? Or boyfriend? Or do you have, are you in any relationship? The person say no, the person say yes. Okay, how many relationships have you been into? And to start to be pricking into what makes the previous relationship to fail. You begin to say certain things. And mind you, when that question is asked, they will wait for you to answer. All of them will be relaxed, calm for you to answer. What makes your previous relationship not to work out? Please, let me state this. Never say anything negative about your ex. We have said this before as regards to your previous jobs. You might have had people say, don't say negative stuff about your previous job, about the previous company you valid. Very, very authentic. However, in the emotional test, and we are putting you through this emotional test, asking about your ex, whether you're a guy, whether you're a lady, don't say negative stuff about him or her. If you say negative stuff about him or her, you are not painting the person bad, you are painting yourself bad. Please get this. Why is it that the relationship fail? You can just get any legit, genuine reason why it fails. Maybe we are not compatible genotypes, and you just genuine reason that he's a wonderful person we are. Don't begin to say he's a cheat, he does this, he's a cheat, he has many girlfriend, or he has many boyfriend, I even do this. Many girlfriend, or he has many boyfriend, I even do this. That doesn't get you anywhere. Please get that. It's very, very important. I have seen ladies, I have seen that line that I caught him with a boyfriend, with a girl, and he thinks that is stuff like that. And then I remember one occasion, the lady told that line, what happens in your previous relationship? Why did it not go through? The lady will say this. And then we now probe how many relationships have you been into? The lady, I think he said 4 they failed because the guys are not good. And that boom, he caught him. And that boom, he caught herself. He said, no, not that all of them are not good, but me, I like the way I am, and this. And that statement, they end. So please, you say negative things about someone that is not present. There is a red flag in communication, negative communication. When you want to say something negative about somebody, ensure the person is present. So as to the person, you are not like the person is there and you are saying it. Don't come and say negative stuff about someone that is not present. That's already a negative communication. And I encourage my audience to always communicate in a positive light. Don't say my weakness, say the challenges. Don't say the area I did not perform well. Say the area I need to improve. Those are positive ways to communicate. So in the emotional test, please show stability. Don't show that you are angry. Don't show that you are irritated, you are angered. Show calmness. Be calm, smile, and say, well, how many of you are to go and do test for you? Will you be willing to go for the test? Then we still smile you just with a smile and say, of course. I tell you this, no company will take you for a medical test without having given you employment letter. Once the job is given, we will take you to medical test. And the medical test doesn't have anything to do with that line. The medical test is to check if you are medically fit to do the job. Is to check if you are medically fit to do the job. Now, I want that to sink in. So that we have to understand a bit of labor law. So these are different emotional tests. We might ask you, how do you manage during their demand to ensure that you weren't affected emotionally. Okay, about your weakness. I will deal with that. Someone is asking, what if the interviewer asks about your weakness? That is going to be handled under the job interview question and answers that will be, by God's grace, maybe next week thereabout, we will be looking at it. Those are what there are ways to answer that question. And if you are going for an interview soon and you wish to learn how you can answer such question within your territory, within your location, please check my videos on this channel. You will see one of the videos I handled on what is your greatest weakness. That handles that very well. However, I will also handle that question in this series as we progress. Like I said, this is a section that we'll be holding every Thursday, 4 p.m. I have mapped out 4 p.m. to help job seekers scale through job interviews. I have been in job interviews, sat in job interviews, and see that certain things that makes person to lose the job and the persons that get the job, 80-90% of them is not basically on the technical aspect. It's basically on the non-recognized stuff that most of them do not pay attention to. And that is one of the things that push me in order to put up this series. It's strictly free. I'm committed to it. It's strictly free. From now till the end of the year, I'm going to be holding this series as regards to has to do with job interviews. We are going to be anchoring them on this channel. And if you know one who wants to pass interviews, let the person be part of this. And the person will definitely get what he or she needs. Whether you have 10 years experience or whether you graduate, that this series are what you need. And from my experience in the industry as a HR practitioner, as a recruitment consultant, I'm going to be giving us secrets. There are different hacks lines up for us in order to scale through job interviews we are committed to do. Okay, and invite your friends. As we are on, you can as well share the links, eye contact. As in a way, you are extending a message that you are expecting a feedback from them. Because I said you be like you sit up with a smiling face, with a cheerful face, a cheerful disposure, a positive disposure, maintaining eye contact with them. But don't be silent for long. most of them will keep that silence for long. We say, okay, let's see how long he can hold this silence without him blabbing rubbish. Now, once that silence maintained to like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, at most 45 seconds, if it maintains 15, 30, at most 45 seconds, then you feel the void. But how do you feel the void? How do you come in? You don't come in to say anything again. No, they are the one that holds the key. You are coming in from the point of inquiry. You are coming in from the point of asking question. You don't come from the point of saying things again. You now ask the question, knowing fully well that in communication, when you ask a question, you expected to get an answer.